The Anbernic RG40XXH brought to market what many people had been asking for a while, a 4-inch horizontal. The RG35XXH was awesome, but people wanted just a little bit more screen real estate, so they brought it to the market. And up until now, there really hasn't been a competitor. But we're going to take a look at the just announced U8, which brings that same 4-inch screen, but now bumps up the resolution to 800 by 680. Running on a Rock Chip 3326, can this actually outdo Anbernic? Let's dive in and find out. Life can be stressful. In fact, sometimes life can be overwhelming, but all you have to do is switch to TurboTax and let us take care of all of your tax problems. No, wait, I'm not an accountant and I don't do taxes, although I've used TurboTax. Hey, deadheads, welcome back to the channel. Or welcome to the channel for the first time, new deadheads. Today, we're taking a look at... Oh man, look! Another brick of cocaine. This one's kind of long. Hey, Dead Fred, what do you think this is? I don't know, man. This one's a wide boy. It's a wide body. Well, let's get into it and see what it is. All right, let's get into this. Voila! Okay, what we got under here? Oh, okay. It's the U8. All right, let's get this out of here. Nice box. This looks like if somebody had taken the Pal Kitty box packaging and improved it. This is nice. So U8 logo here. We got nice little foiled stamp on this. You know, this reminds me of the Anbernic stamp or box. So very attractive box here. I like the look of this presentation. Model U8 here on the side, nothing on there. And on the back we just have this sticker. So we did get a purple 64 gig open source U8 retro handheld. So this is a R3326 64 gig. I don't know. I'm not sure what that is. There's an email here though, James at something else. What is that? James at timlily.com. Tim Lily? I don't know. Anyways, thanks James. I'll send you this video so you can check it out. So let's get this open. And again, this is a wide boy, it's a 4-inch. And so typical packaging, nothing exciting here. Let's get that out of the way. And I like the presentation here. So we're off to a good start. This is a $35 handheld. So this is a really good start here. So we have our little probably USB-C cable here. Let's see what kind we got. I'm sure it's A to C. Yeah, A to C. Little wide end A to C. So still rocking the good old A to C. No surprise with that there. Nice little box there. We do have a manual. No screen protector or anything like that. So here's the manual. And so let's take a look at this. How to adjust volume. Switch language. So we already know it's running Emulec with our EEROMs right there. So Emulec's in this thing. I don't know if it's going to be the one I hate or if it's going to be one that we can do something with. I hope it's the latter. So pretty good instructions here in this manual. Not too bad. Delete games, shut down, simplify filters. And so interestingly enough, this is completely in English. How about that, guys? There's this all in English. So there's no Mandarin, no Chinese. So that's interesting. So here is a overview of it. So we do have 2 TF slots. Yay! So it's Emulec with double TF slots. So that's a good sign here. 4-inch, it's 800. Now here we go. Now this is going to be the topic contention. It's still saying 800 by 680, which is a 5:3 aspect ratio. So I don't know. We'll see. A gig of DDR RAM, and this is running a Rockchip 3326. So yeah, 3326. So it should have a lot of custom firmware support. No Wi-Fi, but at $35, not expecting that. It probably supports a dongle menu key. So yeah, all right, let's keep drilling down. Let's see if there's anything hiding under this. Anything under here? It's in there really well, and nope, no screen protector. So well, what can you say? $35 console. It's already starting off pretty good. And voila. Okay, immediate vibes, like immediate vibes. This looks like the R36 line. The material color, the transparent of it, the colored buttons, it reminds me, it's giving me that vibe. Very attractive. Again, guys, I can't stress enough that we're talking about a $35 console here. And the material, the plastic, it's got some weight to it, so it feels pretty good. Let's see if these sticks are clicky. Clicky sticks. We have inline shoulders. Oh, that's nice, guys. Okay, that is nice. My very first impressions, just straight off out of the pallet box, is I like this. And we do have some pads on the back. So this is off to a good start. Let's start as we always. Let's go with the buttons. The buttons feel nice. They have a nice little gloss to them. Good travel distance, and I don't see them all moving while I'm pressing them. So this is a good sign, guys. Now that's pretty loud, the start and function button. Pretty loud. These are nice though. Let's try this D-pad. D-pad has a good pivot to it. Okay, so liking the D-pad. Switch style sticks. They are clicky. They seem nice. These shoulder buttons, a little bit loud. They are inline. They are a little offset with the size, so you can see a little raise here, so your finger can go and just kind of come around on the raise. We have power and reset on top, and a volume rocker on the top. And then we do have our Type-C. This is your OTG, so this is like for dongles, controllers. And then we have our centered Type-C on the bottom, so good for docking. Headphone jack, we have our 2 SD card slots. We have our dual speaker slots. I don't know if it's dual speakers. On the back we do have the pad, and this does say handheld game console. And it's very nice. So my initial impressions, guys, this is really nice. I'm very impressed at this point with how this looks. So very happy with it. The feel of it doesn't feel cheap. It feels nice and solid. I like how it feels holding it, and it's a good size. It's gonna stand up there. The pads are nice on the back. So let's get this thing booted up and let's see what it looks like on the software. Okay, but before we take a look at the software, I wanted to show you a comparison between the Anbernic RG40XXH and the U8. And as you can see here, the U8 is longer and a little bit taller if you put it on its side. The thickness of the Anbernic a little bit more due to the fact that it has the SAC soldiers. But between the two, you're going to have a flatter, a little bit thinner device with the U8. But it is a wide boy. And again, with the weight of the two, they're about the same here. Now, once you start looking a little deeper and you compare the screens to it, you can see immediately these are different aspect ratios. And that is one of the things that we were trying to figure out when we first got this. The D-pads are, again, very similar, although Anbernic's quality control is a lot better. But as we load up some of the software here and just take a look at these two screens, you can kind of see that it does have a really nice screen. I do think that after my testing and going through this, that it probably is a 800 by 680 screen, putting it at a 5:3 aspect ratio. It looks like it's more rectangular than the 4:3 aspect ratio that's below on the Anbernic model. But you can see that these are both very vibrant screens that look quite nice when you look at each one of them. So very impressed with each one of these screens. I'd say that they're equally impressive in their own right. But as I continue to show you the differences here between the Anbernic model and the U8, you can kind of see that, again, this is a very rectangular versus a more squarish screen on the Anbernic. For a 4-inch, or do you think the 4:3 aspect ratio is more appropriate that we have in the Anbernic model? I'd like to know your thoughts, and I'll just scroll through some of the software here and kind of show you the differences between the two. We do have MuOS running on the bottom here. Shout out to the MuOS team, as they are one of the best software teams out there, although we're very blessed to have so many great software developers and teams out there. But we'll take a look at a couple of Game Boy Color games here. So you can see the Anbernic is displaying in the correct aspect ratio as it has the borders. The U8 is actually stretched out, unfortunately, comparatively, so it's not set up in the right way. Now, later on in testing this, I did have issues with the software, and as we dive deeper into this, you'll hear a little footnote from me about the issues I encountered as I was trying to adjust this. Anyways, let's take a look at what this looks like compared to the 3.5-inch models, the RG35XX size models, and we'll look at the O30S, which is a model we just reviewed a revision of. Okay, so as we take a look here at the O30S comparatively to the U8, again, we are gaining a whole ½ inch of screen real estate by moving up to the U8. The two of these are both budget handhelds, both competing in the same space. Anbernic, I would make an argument, is in a more of a premium budget space, if you want to call it premium budget. But you can see the difference in the screen size here. It's not greatly different, but it's enough. And I think that the 4 inches makes enough of a difference that's why, we recommend the 40XXH as the best starter handheld over the 35XXH, because that extra ½ inch does make a difference. But now let's dive into starting the software up, and you'll see me open up here with a little segment explaining that I had a lot of issues with the software. Also, my microphone decided to crap out, so apologies for the poor sound on this next final section. It's just one of those days for me, deadheads. Anyways, let's continue. Where? Okay, guys. Well, my optimism has been burned. I had a pretty good unboxing, a pretty good experience with the hardware, and I was impressed. But once I got into the software, I ran into a lot of problems. Now, our friends over at OG Technic have already unboxed this, and somebody on the Discord has also gotten it. So I think I just got a bum unit, because my unit, no matter what I did, the D-pad would just randomly move on its own. Also, getting into the RetroArch menu, I couldn't use it with the normal controls. The shoulder buttons would control it. Now, I did discover that somebody has already been able to load up and use the ARC OS that's running on the R36 Max. So there's hope that, maybe my software will fix it. I did attempt to get that going, but I wasn't successful in that. So even in trying to use a standalone emulator like PPSSPP, I had the same issue. So I decided to put in a second controller through the USB port, and I was able to make it work with that, which tells me that I think there's something wrong with the hardware on mine. So it's very unfortunate. I was going to open it up, but I'm going to show you some pictures here courtesy of Discord. They've already opened theirs up, and you can see that it is a Rockchip 3326, and it looks nice on the inside. So unfortunately, in my testing, I haven't been able to actually play this. Now, I'm going to contact the manufacturer and I'm going to attempt to see if I can get another unit because I think I just got a busted one, which is very unfortunate because I wanted to kind of play some footage and show you guys. So as I wrap up this initial look and impressions for Dead Fred, I got a busted unit. Unfortunately, for some reason, it's not working. I can't get the controls to work properly unless I use a second controller, and that's not how you're supposed to play this anyways. Now, I do want to point out that these little controllers I'm using, you can pick these up very cheap on Amazon or AliExpress. And so make sure you check those out because they're very good to have around. I'm collecting all the different colors, and I think they're pretty amazing. So anyways, we know the Rockchip 3326. We know how this should perform. We know how custom firmware should perform. So like with many of these launches, this might end up being a good handheld in the future. Right now, it looks like it's got not very great quality control. Every company can ship some poo-poo. So we'll hold reserve judgment on them because I've seen some successful from others. So for me, had this worked out of the box like I needed it to work, I would be sitting here probably telling you that we're looking at another hidden gem. So I'm hoping I'm going to try to get a hold of another unit and do a re-review of this in the coming weeks. But for right now, if you need a 4-inch competitor to the already excellent 40XXH, then this might fit the bill. And I'm hoping that I just had a bum unit. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoy this first look and impressions of it. Go check out Nick's full review. Anyways, remember to hug your loved ones and love your hugged ones because tomorrow is never promised. We'll see you next time, Deadhead. We got some exciting stuff coming up soon, so stay tuned, including the GKD Pixel 2. All right, guys. We'll see you next time. Dead Fred out.